And with all these moving parts and with the Dougie Fresh thing, which I believe was on the Def Jam tour in '87, when I believe
Right.
he said that to you guys or to Chuck or however it worked. But this is back to the paying attention to people that are being around or being open to people that are intelligent or have experience or what have you. And you guys were able to use what Dougie Fresh said to your benefit and to your tremendous advantage. So how did you know, or how and when did you learn that Public Enemy as a insulated institution was also willing to take that outside, hey y'all, pay attention to what I'm saying because I'm giving you some knowledge and this could really help you, as opposed to, oh, Dougie Fresh, he's just hating or he's looking at this wrong. Like, how did you guys know or have that insight to then apply it also?
I don't I don't know if you could we could say that, if I could say or anyone else could say, it's like, well, how did we know that this was gonna happen? Because some of the stuff is like it wasn't just like this big strategic plan. You know, we say this all the time, especially among us as the S1Ws, and we kind of believe that, we were, and I hope people don't take this the wrong way. I mean, it's not to be spooky or think that we're um, uh, that we felt we were prophets or something like. We just felt like it was just the guidance of God. You know what I mean? It was just like we were just we were doing things because we felt that it was right. I mean, you know, you if you're saying something, and it's um, if you gather some information from somebody, it's the reason why you should always try to make it a habit of being around people who are smarter than you. But because if you're gathering some information from somebody or something that has had a positive impact either on your life directly, or you see how it impacted the masses of people and made them want to do and be better, or got individuals thinking certain ways, or even the flip side of that. If 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 I was doing something wrong to you and it was blatant, it was wrong, you know what I mean? It's lying or whatever. And um even if it wasn't done directly to Chuck, Rogers, or somebody else inside the group, they're seeing this wrong action brought to you. So let's point the finger, let's identify what's being wrong. That's wrong. It doesn't have, you don't have to get all scientific with it. It doesn't have to, you don't have to over intellectualize it. It's like, yo, that shit is wrong. It's wrong what you're doing to people. Is wrong, or what you're saying is not true. It's like you point out the good and the bad, and then give people the resources to determine what that information is, and have them make a an intelligent decision among themselves, because it's easy. Like, they say, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So you bring them the water and they don't drink. If you thirsty, that's not my fault. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
on
like
the
I'm
horse.
providing this, it's on the horse.
That's on the
So it's just
horse.
like, this shit is there. It's like, and it's like, and we didn't create the water. We just like, at some point, we had a glass, we drank the water. It was like, yo, this shit is like good for the body. You know what I mean? It's like we need this to survive. So it's like we didn't make this up. This is just it. So and then um but then when as you're moving around and then you get the response from people. It's like many I mean many times have people come up to either myself or other members inside of the group and said, if it wasn't for you, I'd be in jail. If it wasn't for y'all, I would be in jail. Or I learned this because I heard that. This made me, I because of this, I went to school and I became a doctor. I became a politician. Or I was doing wrong and then I heard this and then it made me want to change my life. And then, you look at that and then, only, what you just get off of that, you're like, you give all the thanks, give all the thanks to God. Um, because one thing's for sure is um, none of us are perfect. I mean, it's like, we stumble, we make the same mistakes as anybody else. So um, we didn't want to be that give anybody the impression that we felt that we were um, holy, righteous, or anything like that. We just had information, we wanted to share it, and the good thing about it, it affected people's lives in a positive way. Um,
And this,
and
I
then
think, is a
that's good of a part of it.
I was sorry about that's something I think is also very important though, because one of the things I've always felt with rap, and this is very much illustrated by in 1988, 1989, the success of Public Enemy, the success of Boogie Down Productions, and a little bit later, the success of X-Clan and Poor Righteous Teachers and Paris and Ice Cube and all these artists that were overtly political and overtly talking about stuff that was going on in the streets, but also even Ice-T talking about being smart, the lethal weapons, the mind, all these things. I always think it's wild that people say, oh, people don't want to hear intelligent discourse because the intelligent discourse at that time was among, if not the most popular, but it was super
Right,
popular. So
right.
for you, as that realization was coming to the light, even Eric B. and Rakim, of course, there's so many examples I can keep going. But the point being is, as the knowledge of self, as the different things that you guys are promoting, preaching, showing through action, showing through performance, and in the music, were you surprised that it was so embraced and so endorsed, not only by the black community, but by the white community, the white media, the black media, it was essentially universally endorsed and embraced by almost everyone at this 1988 getting into 1989 point. Were you surprised? Did it shock you? Were you like, oh yeah, of course?
Well, it was far from, oh yeah, of course. No, it was that whole surprise. It was that whole shock because when you're doing it, I mean, you don't. I mean, you have an idea, but you can't predict what people are going to say. But then, um, and then like really the Public Enemy plan was actually to get in and get out. It was like it's like a 3 hour ideas, 3 year plan. Because um, Chuck and Hank was using Public Enemy as a vessel just to break into the music industry as producers and as executives.
Which they were successful at because they had
But that
the
whole,
whole
but the
label,
whole,
pro division. Yeah.
but the whole performance thing wasn't supposed to be this long
Hey.
term thing.
Hmm.
So now you get out there um, and you get um, you get you get a group of guys that won't let that won't you know that won't let this thing go. That won't let no won't let you quit. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yo, we got. Are you kidding? Are you looking at the impact that it's having on people? We can't quit. And then at every turn, when you think that, okay, what's next? Where do we go from? Where do we go from there? And one thing, like even like with um the S1Ws, he was like on the stage, like every year we tried to um outdo the last year. Um um like we had one one year is 91. You had Terminator X dropping out of the ceiling on the platform with the X lowering. Then you had the big wall. The S1Ws at the start of the show would be elevated, come up on elevators to the top of the wall, and then we walk down. Chuck, well, Flav will come through the center of this big wall. We had lights and sounds, all this stuff is um, so I mean, you're looking at that, it's like, oh man, it's then compared to the year before, where all we had was DJ with the table, S1Ws, two on the platform, two on the ground, Chuck and Flavor with mics running across the stage. Um, but the set shit, that was a set. Jam, Run D his pieces that Run-DMC, Jam Master Jay dropped down from the ceiling, the wall, and all that shit. We just took it and slapped the Public Enemy logo on it, and then just added some drills and some lights and stuff like that. We actually, we took control over everything. It's like in '87 as an opening act. Not only That's a Sonic came on before Public Enemy. In '87, the Def Jam tour. That's a Sonic, Public Enemy, then Eric B. and Rakim. We have 15 minutes. Um, Now at the, you know, you 15 minutes on this type of show, you're opening act. Your lights consist of that first trust. Your sound is not going to go maybe a little, well, it's not going above half the soundboard. It's more, open and act. There's marks on, there's a certain amount of lights you can lose. There's, your sound level. Because one thing that you're not going to do is the
The
sound
headline.
better than the headliner. So our thing was, well, we're gonna try to look better. Now, of course, we had at that point, '87, we had high marks to reach when, because had Eric B. and Rakim after that, but then after them, then you had then it was Doug, and then Houdini, then LL. So, that showed us. Yeah. So, um, '87, at one point there was three of us who were S1Ws. Started with two, then we went to three. But then the third one who came out, his name Crunch. Um, he Chuck was like, we wanted to, he wanted to do something to make the stage look better. Because the light guy, just that the tour house guy, he didn't, he had four buttons to push. He ain't really didn't care too much about what your light show looked like. So he sent crunch to the soundboard to where he gave the light guy direction on where spots to go, how to go black. So even though we just had just the four lights, but just being able to make sure that the spotlights were hitting the right people at the right time, because Chuck and Flav hitting different marks, or going black and then just putting on S1W, whatever it is. He's there. So now the visual, just with the minimum amount of lights, enhances the show. And then
So,
eventually,
oh,
uh,
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
then eventually he learned how to. Then he eventually he learned how to run the light. So as now the group starts advancing, moving further down the call sheet, further up. Now he's got it. So now our light show is just fucking incredible.
Hmm.
Same thing with the sound. Bring out your own sound, man. And so now and it wasn't like with the other groups where their light man and their sound man were riding on production buses. Our light man, our sound man, everybody in our crew rode this security, everybody rode the same bus. So before the show, after the show, when we're meeting, going over show lineups, the sound guy is there. Well, this is where, light guy, these are what this. Everybody got their input. If the show's fucked up that night when we're on the bus, or that next morning when we're traveling, it's a discussion. So now the next show, everything is there. So we took control of our own destiny, and it that started early. It's like, even like when we talked about how Public Enemy's interacting. That same tour, right? Nobody knows who the hell Public Enemy was. I mean, you had Public Enemy #1, Time Bomb. This Joe Bum Rush the Show album. No radio play, no videos. Guys dressed in blacks, pouring with Uzis, crazy ass flavor running across the stage. Chuck with this um um scary ass deep voice, sounding like James Earl Jones doing a rap song. Um, but before the show, we put our Public Enemy jackets on. And as the arena is filling up, we're walking through the crowd. Um, the label um, only gave out a certain amount of glossy 8.5 by 11 promo shots. Chuck used to work before the Public Enemy thing. He worked at a printing company, so he took the picture to the company and made up, instead of having one picture on the 8.5 by 11, the postcard size. So now we got four chopped up. So we walking through the crowd and we just giving them out. People, see, halftime we sign it, give it to them. They ain't even asking. We just give it to them. Just give it to them. So now when we got this relationship with the people already, because we're there, we're sitting, we're talking. So now they see us on stage, and they're like, oh, we just saw them. And then after we get off stage, same thing, throw on a jacket, and now you go into the crowd.
Hmm.
Then
So,
after after the show, go back to the hotel. You find us sitting in the lobby. So now you got people just in the we just having conversation with people sitting in the lobby at the hotel, or at a restaurant, and that carried on to this date. So it started that way, and it's the same way now.
hmm. So
You can
what?
walk through you can walk through an airport at any time, and it's a good possibility that you can find Chuck sitting up against a wall with some headsets on, right by himself.